Hello again, third graders. This is Miss Fallon back with another informational writing lesson. Hopefully you've been researching animals and working on your note-taking and writing. And this week we are going to finish off our first draft with an introduction and a conclusion paragraph. So hopefully you researched an animal on Pebble Go. I studied orangutans. You may have studied something else. And you wrote we're going to finish up our report with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Week 1, we took notes on our animal. Week 2, we turned our notes into our body paragraphs using transition words and phrases. And week 3, that's this week, we're going to write our introduction and conclusion paragraphs. So here was my sample essay. I never actually read it to you guys. Did you want to hear it? Okay, so Orangutans by Miss Fallon. Orangutans are incredible animals. They are primates like humans. In fact, their name means person of the forest. Read on to learn more about these amazing creatures. The body of an orangutan has many useful features. First of all, they grow to be about 5 feet tall. Also, their long hair is orange and red. Furthermore, their lengthy arms are great for swinging between the trees. But where do orangutans live? Orangutans live in a very interesting habitat. They only live on the Asian islands of Sumatra and Borneo. Their habitat is the canopy of the rainforest. Their nests are high up in the trees. But what do orangutans eat? The food orangutans eat comes from many sources. Sometimes they eat fruit, including figs and mangoes. Sometimes they eat insects. Their teeth are strong, so they can chew nuts and tree bark. As you can see, there's much to learn about the amazing orangutan. So I pointed this out last time, but I split up my essay into paragraphs. And each time I started a new paragraph, I showed you it was a new paragraph by indenting a little bit. And each paragraph is supposed to be a different subtopic. So I had my introduction paragraph, and that's supposed to just introduce the reader to what the topic is. And then at the end, I wrapped it up with a little conclusion paragraph. And then each of my body paragraphs in the middle were about a different subtopic. So the body of the orangutan, the habitat of the orangutan, and the food of the orangutan. Those were the 3 that I chose. But today we're going to be talking about how to write that introduction and that conclusion. Introduction. It must tell the reader what the topic is. You wouldn't want to start your essay on orangutans and not tell the reader that they are about to read about orangutans. You have to tell them what the topic is. It should have an interesting hook so that the reader picks up your essay, they look at it, they go, ooh, I'm curious. So you got to give them a little something to get them interested, to make them want to keep reading. And you should give them an idea of what they're going to learn about in the essay. So I'm going to break down how I did this, and you can think about how you're going to do it. So here's my introduction. Orangutans are incredible animals. They are primates like humans. In fact, their name means person of the forest. Read on to learn more about these amazing creatures. So what did I do here? Well, I told the reader what my topic is, and I made it sound a little interesting. So I said, orangutans are incredible animals because my topic is orangutans. You might say, I don't know, kangaroos are amazing creatures, or I don't know, jellyfish are very interesting to study. So whatever your topic is, you'll introduce it. And then I went on to give a few interesting facts that might spark the reader's interest. And I actually just got these from the fun facts section on PebbleGo. So maybe reread your fun facts notes and pull a couple of ideas from there. And then I told the reader what to expect to learn about in the essay. So I said, read on to learn more about these amazing creatures, meaning orangutans. So I introduced my topic, I hooked the reader with a few fun facts, and then I told the reader what they could expect to learn by reading the rest of my essay. The conclusion at the end wraps things up. So you told the reader at the beginning that they were going to learn about orangutans, and then boom, 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 you taught them about orangutans. And then at the end, we have this habit of wrapping things up with a conclusion. And it's like saying goodbye to your reader. When you're having a conversation with a friend, at the beginning, you say hello or how you doing? At the end, you usually don't just turn around and walk away. You say goodbye, see you later. It's polite, and it's our custom to wrap things up at the end with a goodbye. And that's kind of what a conclusion paragraph is in an essay like this. So the way that we say goodbye is we restate the topic in a different way, and we usually start it with a transition phrase that's for conclusions. So here's my my conclusion paragraph. And in this example that I wrote, I really didn't write a whole paragraph, did I? I just wrote one sentence. As we become more experienced and more developed writers, we can start turning it into maybe more of a paragraph. But for now, just a conclusion sentence is okay with me. So I said, as you can see, there's much to learn about the amazing orangutan. Let's break down what I did here. I use a transition word. So we have lots of transition words that are for your first example, your middle examples, your last examples. And then we have some special transition words that are for conclusions. So some examples of that would be in conclusion, to summarize, as you can see. And those words will just cue the reader in that you're about to wrap things up. So I said, as you can see, and I also restated that my topic was orangutans one more time because that's just our custom. We like wrap it up and we tell the reader one more time what we were talking about so they don't forget. And then in the middle, I made a statement that kind of says again what we just did. So we just learned about orangutans. So I said there's much to learn about the amazing orangutan because hopefully that's what I as a writer just showed my reader. There's much to learn. See, I just showed you. So here's some example phrases that you can use to build your own conclusion paragraph. So we have transition phrases like in conclusion, in summary, as you can see, as you have now learned, or to close, are just some examples. Maybe you can think of more. And then a statement that restates for the reader what we just did together. There's much to learn about. These animals are amazing creatures. Whatever you hope the reader takes away. Do you want them to remember that they're fascinating animals, that they're very interesting to learn about? And then the topic, which you have to restate one last time, would just be your animal. And you want to pick something that will wrap things up, and it should not be the same as the thing that you said at the beginning. So if at the beginning you said, I don't know, penguins are amazing animals, then at the end you should maybe say penguins are fascinating creatures. It's just so you're not using the same words because that would just be a little boring. So you want to pull one thing from each of these sections. So here's some examples. You could say maybe something from column A, something from column B, something from column C. So I said, in summary, porpoises are amazing creatures. Or maybe, as you can now see, it is very interesting to learn about tarantulas. So you can pick and choose your own, or maybe you make up something that's even more interesting and creative than what I came up with. But that's kind of a formula for building a conclusion statement. So this week, here's your job. Please read over the body paragraphs you wrote last week just to make sure they say what you want them to say and just get yourself back in the mindset of a writer. Then you're going to write your introduction paragraph that restates your topic, hooks the reader with an interesting fact or two, and tells the reader what they can expect to learn in your essay. And then write a conclusion paragraph that restates your topic and uses a conclusion transitional phrase. Next week, we will revise and edit our essays and create our final drafts. All right, so happy writing, third graders. Please let your teacher know if you have any questions or if you want to share what you're working on. And hopefully we will see you soon and have a great week. Bye.